Hello guys, hello everyone. In this video I will try to share with you my method of learning new words, and honestly in October the only thing that I was doing every single day, I was just learning words, and it took me an incredible amount of time. Honestly, just a repetition of these words daily took me about 2 hours, like 2 hours per day, only for repetition of those words. And I'm not saying about learning, memorizing new ones, but I think that it was worth it because now I feel that my vocabulary has become bigger. Yeah. So, my main target language for now was Turkish, also Italian. Yeah, and other ones like Greek, English. I have quite a decent level of these two languages, so I don't put in that much effort about these ones. Also, I started learning Spanish at university, but now I don't take that much attention at this language just because, yeah, I'm lazy and I don't know how to combine all of them. I'm just so addicted something certain. Now it's the Turkish language. Yeah, so I'm trying my best here, but not there. Yeah, in any case, uh, I hope I will be able to explain it to you because honestly, I tried to record this video for several times by using this Souffleur. I'm not sure how it is called, but you know, when you write a text, write a script, then you try to read this text from your screen while being recorded, but it didn't work out. I felt like it was not natural, and yeah, I felt like you would reveal it, you would understand it, that it was not me who was thinking. Anyway, even though I wrote this script, so basically I have the script of this video, which happens really rarely. I'm so lazy to write down some things, but this time I will try to explain things on my own, like I used to do. But of course, I will not remember some certain words. That's not good. But in any case, now you're feeling more natural, I think, connected with me because I'm like alive, not an artificial intellect. First of all, I think it's a good time to motivate you guys and to motivate me either by myself. Usually, what we used to do, we used to compare ourselves with others, and I cannot get rid of this thing because I feel like everyone else, every single YouTuber is so successful, and I'm feeling like, oh, I'm putting in so much effort and I'm still not there. But who knows? So many people are just envious because of my capability of learning, but I don't feel like it. So, yeah, just forget about others because you have your own process, you have your own skills. So, up to now, for example, you can read only you can read one page for 2 3 minutes. Someone can read it for 20 30 seconds just because that person had been training for some period of time back then, and of course he has some background. You also can acquire it, but like later, because I know this technique for several years, and I started it about 2 almost 3 years ago when I started it first. And I've realized that now my skills have become better, have been improved by some time. When, yeah, so it's okay, just forget about something bad because why honestly, why you're learning this beautiful language? um, I forget about it very often. I forget that my main motivation is just because I love learning languages. I enjoy the process. So of course you have to enjoy your process of learning, of immersing in this culture. Yeah, and I have an example of a small child. So as we know, every child uh, when growing up learns to walk. So just imagine a small child saying, "Oh, I've tried so many times, and I'm falling again and again, and I cannot walk. Probably it's not for me. I don't suit here. I don't belong here. I will not learn how to walk." This sounds insane, right? Because if children had such mindset, which we have now, they wouldn't have become successful in walking. They would be just crawling. How to say it right? Yeah, you got my point. I hope so. So we just need to remember how children learn everything. They consume everything. They observe it, and that's how they make mistakes. And yeah, that's all. The next thing, which I would like to talk about, is this method of association. The problem is that many people have taken it wrongly in a wrong way, and they, yeah, there are two options. The first one, when people just didn't do it correctly, yeah, didn't approach this method correctly. That's why they didn't succeed in it. But the second option is just a person may feel like, oh, I I've tried it for 3 4 times and it's not a good method, it doesn't work, but it does. You just need to continue trying, continue learning it. So yeah, it requires some time, but it is worth it. So when we memorize information, about 70% of it is stored in our short term memory, while only 30% transfers to long-term memory. Uh, that's why we need to repeat things many, many times, because there is a hail of forgetting things. So once you learned it, you are likely to forget it in 2 3 hours if you don't mm, repeat it one more time. But if you repeat it constantly and after a week, if you forget about it even for 2 days, you will still remember it. So you just need to put it in your brain's core. Yeah, this is our goal, guys. Simple steps for visualization, as I wrote it. Okay, so I will give you an example. Of course, it is much easier to imagine a picture of a subject which exists. For example, now close your eyes and try to visualize in your head a house. Yeah, you have a picture of this house, or you may not close your eyes. You can imagine it like just this. Or, for example, you can imagine a cup of tea, and your own cup of tea will be different, probably not like mine, but you still have a picture. Or you can imagine a cat, a dog, a bottle of water. But if we say something like uncountable, for example, water or cereal, rice, it will be a bit difficult. So we need to try to make it packaged, or so it has its own borders. So for example, yeah, water, it's not something that we can I don't know, look at just, yeah, we need a bottle or a cup to see this water, so a bottle of water. Yeah, when connecting two objects, we have to make them the same size or scale. So imagine a fly and elephant. Fly it's something super small bug, insect, and an elephant is a big animal. but we need to imagine them of the same size, so we can connect them better, because yeah, a fly is so small, it will be really difficult to remember it, that it existed in your association. Common mistakes in associations. There is a mistake when you imagine it two things which you need to connect. For example, let me think, just some paper, sheet of paper, and a cup, or you know, a cup of tea, and you imagined two subjects, but you didn't connect them, and you may remember, oh, there was a cup of tea and something else, but I don't remember. So you need just to put them together and somehow create this connection, even if it's not logically correct, because we have to forget about our logics, and think like children, like small children, how we can connect, for example, uh, whatever, a table and a water. Yeah, crazy. So we need to be children with a very mm, huge imagination, but uh, it also being trained. So don't be sad of not being able to do it at first. It will require some time. Also, some of other mistakes. When we create a complex story, we need to connect two words or two objects, and we create a story that this fox went to the forest when then it met a bird, and we may forget about bird and about fox, why it happened, or we may remember a forest which we didn't want to connect with the fox, but it happened. So don't create these long stories. Just imagine in your head something visualized, because visualized, because it is better, it is faster to remember and to memorize. And also about mistakes, uh, sometimes we just get distracted, so we we get distracted, or we didn't understand fully the meaning of this word. So we may think of some difficult words. Of course, we will not remember them because we just don't imagine, we cannot imagine what it means. About tips, my own tips, or something that I learned from others, that first you need to train yourself to memorize some simple things, some objects that you can touch, that you can imagine in your head. So forget about emotions or about some states. You can do it after 2 or 3 thousand words learned. Yeah, because you can try some simple emotions, for example, happiness or sadness, but it will be really difficult to imagine indignation or whatever. I think you're catching my drift. Honestly, these sheets of paper are not necessary to use, but it is really helpful to repeat words. So we don't use this thing to memorize words, we memorize it in our head. First of all, we need to remember that we do all the process in our head before we write it down. We remember words by their pronunciation. So the most important thing is how they sound, not how they are written, how they sound. We try to connect this word with something that already exists in our head, with our background. So we need to pay attention at the beginning of the word. The beginning of the word is the most important thing. We should never change it by its sound. Now I will try to give you an example. I took some Japanese words. I don't learn any Japanese, I don't know any Japanese, so I'm just using this transcription. I'm not sure that I will pronounce it right, but I'm just here to explain you this technique. Yeah, for example, bamboo. It sounds like take.
I checked it out and it sounds like take.
take,
Not exactly like take. So the first part of this word, it is similar to the word tackle or take, tackle, take, and you need to create an association that bamboo. Let me think. Mm, that there is a taco. It's like a dish from bamboo. So we need to create this crazy picture that's like there is taco like this, and inside there are very long pieces of bamboo. And when we think, we just um, say it aloud. We say it aloud like take, 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 and we try to memorize this word by its sound. Yeah, so take, take, take. We imagine in our head this taco where we have bamboo. That's how we remember that take means bamboo in Japanese. Okay, or something else like kami. Kami, it's paper. Kami. It sounds like calm, like calm. It will be more difficult, but we can imagine piece of paper, like paper that has eyes, and it is very calm, like it is sitting on the beach and doing nothing, so it's like calm. So kami, kami, kami. Don't forget that it's paper, and just imagine this picture in your head. When imagining this picture, don't close your eyes better, because then you will get used to closing your eyes while creating associations, and then you will have this bad habit. Or for example, come, I'm not sure, come, it's rice. So come sounds like, I don't know, calm or comb, who knows. For example, there is a comb which is full of rice. So it is from the rice, it is made out of the rice, and we just know we are having this picture of comb, which is like of the rice made made of this. So come, 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 like come, 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 it's rice. Kami, 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 it's calm paper. And what else? Take is bamboo. So taco, which has bamboo. Of course, it's only my associations, and you can create some some of your own. Yeah, they have to be really crazy, really crazy. That's like you think, what is going on in my head? That's so strange. That's so weird. But exactly by using this way, you will remember it really nicely, because you will have this weird portrait of its situation. Because if it's something logical, then we already know it and it's not new to us, neither for someone else. Or another association, let me try. For example, ame means rain. Ame, just by transcription. So we have a word amen, like amen, right. So let's imagine a man who was praying for the rain, because everything was so uh in a so bad condition, like there was not grass, anything, and it was a desert, and he wanted to drink something. So it's like a background story. Sometimes we need to create this whole picture, not always. Yeah. So and he's like doing this amen, 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 because rain started and he has water. So like amen, 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 amen. So it has the same like amen, 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 amen. And then we remember about rain. Um, it may be difficult from the beginning, because now I'm explaining it like crazy, you know. Why I'm using these cards and how I do it. When I created this picture in my head, then I pronounce it 3 times. You write it down in your target language, how it is written, just write it down. Then in another side, from another side, you write it down in your mother tongue. At once you have to do about 5, 7 or 9 cards, not more, because it's about
Miller's law states that a person can hold 5 to 9 items in memory at once. In today's world with constant distractions, like smartphones, this number may drop to 5.
Then I try to pronounce it after I turn this card and see if it was right. And then I change all the cards. Like in one block, I may have about 15, 21, 27 or 45 cards. It depends on your tactics. So I like to take 5 cards and then five another ones. Then I create like a block of 15. And then I create 2 other blocks of 15 and I put them together. So um, it, it consists of 45 cards. So flashcards is a really good way of repetition because it creates a chaotic order of them, of their repetition, because you all the time you mix them up. That's how you don't have the same order. The most important thing is to remember words, remember any information. It comes to not only words, not only about exactly this technique, because you can use other ones, but whatever comes to learning, it needs repetition, because you can learn a huge amount of words, a huge amount of text, but be ready that you need to repeat it a lot, a lot every day. And honestly, you have to be really hardworking. So even though I consider myself capable of learning a huge amount of words, for like for a month I learned about 1,500 words. But honestly, it was a really hard journey, just because for every single day I was repeating all the words which I learned during that week. So I had a huge list of words for every week that I learned something, and then for about 2 hours I had to sit down and I just had my like timer, my clock, so to see how much time I spent on it. And in my gallery I have a huge amount of screenshots where there are all of my times when I just repeated it. So I could spend on 100 words about 2 or 3 hours to master, to remember, I mean to memorize. But then it required me a really huge period of time of repeating it. But first times when I repeated those words, it was somehow difficult because I was not sure how to say it, or it didn't come to my head, because I could maybe understand it from some context, but I was not able to reproduce it myself. But honestly, after several days of repetition, of constant repetition, I realized that I remembered. I did remember these words, those difficult words, which I even couldn't imagine, like how I did it. Honestly, that's so crazy. And yeah, I'm still not sure if I was finally able to explain to you this concept. In addition, say that I do it very, very rarely. Like for me, it's a good way to boost like my progress immediately, for so I can learn much stuff for 1 or 2 months, just learning it obsessively, super obsessively. Then I quit it for a while, and I just consume a lot of content, like a lot of videos, some other information, reading, writing, trying to talk, to express myself. And very often I just come across with these words, with the words I learned. Yeah, so after having been in this journey, mm, I think I need to rest for several months, honestly, because I'm really tired, but at the same time I'm super happy with my results, because I cannot imagine how much words. It's not all. Also, there are other ones. First, remember about your motivation, because if you Honestly, if you want to learn a language, you will consume many hours. It will consume many hours just to learn it, because you will immerse yourself entirely. So it requires a lot of time, and you need to know it. You need to have at least 2 or 3 hours every day to be ready to have difficulties at the beginning, because it will be difficult for you to understand this concept first. You just need to create these pictures and try your best, because yeah, I also didn't say that sometimes we may not create some associations. It's impossible because we cannot find the right word in our head that matches with that word which we want to learn by their sound, because sometimes foreign language may have some sounds which don't exist in our own languages, and yeah, it may have difficulties. So just skip these words for the beginning, then you will figure it out. Yes, that's all about it. Yeah, that's so difficult but so interesting. That's why I'm here, that's why you're here. So thank you very much for watching this very long video, but if you reached until this point, I think that you're highly motivated about learning languages, or I don't know why you are sitting, why you are you sticking around here still. Are you crazy too? I will be also very happy and glad to read your own comments about it, uh, which ways you use to learn vocabulary or to learn language. If you have some strategies, I'm really interested about it. And yeah, thank you for your time and attention. That was Lang Tester. My dream is to speak fluently 7 foreign languages. So one day I will reach this goal. Bye.